to join Discord, the options there. If not, who cares, right? So, first of all, Team 1, why so serious and sexy the team is called, because why not? Main purpose of this team is against Mercers, no other real purpose. Did use it a bit against Jesus leads, does help because Arrow can go twice if he does kill, so that's sort of why I use him on that team. But yeah, I'll show you the mods and all that now. So with this team, purposes, Arav and Andrea go turn 1, so obviously you hit Andrea first. Arav might kill, and if he does, it's just a bonus. So, and obviously you have impair resistance for Axel and Maggie, so there's lots of options. But I will say you cannot put Mia's pistol on Axel. It does not work because Mia's pistol gives random AP to someone else, and that random AP could go to someone like Maggie, and that's just not something you want to happen. So you cannot have Mia's pistol on this team. So first of all, combat mods: attack versus red, attack versus green, maim, just so if Andrea gives AP and there's exhaust, I won't take the damage, hopefully. And then AP drain, because why not? Fairly simple. And then yeah, it's just a simple 1535 weapon. Had to change that because Mia's pistol, like I said, does not work. Also, if you want to see examples of all these teams, just go on the live stream. It's very easy to find, and yeah. So on this team, it's an 8% with fast healing, so I can get some heals in. The team stays alive if anything bad was to happen. Mods, I got stun and fuse resist, why not? You know, the mods don't really matter on Maggie because she's just there for the command turn 1, and since you're going up against Mercer teams primarily with this team, you can go up against Jackie. No, can go up against Jesus if you want, but the other team I will show you in a bit. I think it's just a way bit better. So yeah, simple mods on that. Dr. Stevens, he's holding a fast healing weapon because why not? You know, I like some extra heals in the team just so they stay alive a bit longer, and yeah, he doesn't really have to do anything but that. Mods is fairly simple. Dage resist in case I'm going up against a angel lead. Exhaust resist so I don't get killed by Angel, Marge, and other things like that. And then AP drain is just in case anything was to go bad. So fairly simple there. Like I will say this one, my mods are a bit iffy on this, but I'll explain it. So attack, fairly simple. Attack versus red. So when I'm attacking Jesus or Trader or something like that, it's fairly simple. Also yellow, Mr. Lou's, Tanya's, Lee's, just so he does a bit more damage and he might get the kill. It does help quite a bit. Impair resistant, I don't need it on there because I've got Axel to recover all of my impair, and I also have a Maggie that can recover impair as well. So yeah, it's not needed at all on this team, but you can put a stun, exhaust, maim, whatever you really want. But I do find that attack up when taunted is very nice on this team because my Andrea does give focus, and with focus it does mean that they're immune to taunt and whatnot, so it does help to get the extra attack boost just by letting them go off. Fairly simple. Obviously he has a 20% weapon, fairly standard, and yeah. And then with Andrea, weapon, I got fucked on the weapon really bad. I got 44%, so if you're not aware, I failed on 5% 3 times. So yeah, that's great. Attack, simple stuff. Attack versus red, I like using her against Jesus. So that's very nice. She can normally one-shot a Jesus. Greens, so I can basic hit down a Rick, or I can kill a Marge. Attack her when taunted, I've already explained why. And then exhaust resistance is very important because when she gains AP, which is every round without a doubt, and gives AP on the rush, it's very important that she stays alive and does not kill herself. So very useful to have that. On to the next team. Primarily you saw on live stream, I did use this team and my auto team. So obviously Magna has normalized on a weapon, so if I'm going up against any non-RNG leads like an Aaron, a Jackie, a Pete, normally if there's only one thing like a Payback or an Outlast, I can normally turn one the team fairly simple. So mods, you've already seen the Dr. Stevens one. This is my second Rick, so I'll show you that. It's 1535 Rick. It doesn't really matter on the mods, it's just whatever you think you might encounter. Like I said, Confuse this is completely fucking pointless with Magna, but I don't really need it, anything in that slot, so I just threw it on there because why not? Beta's my main killing machine. He's got a 20% weapon. He doesn't need a huge, because he's getting the boosts from Doctor. So yeah, he does hit like an absolute truck. His mods are attack versus blue, attack versus green, because attack versus red, he's already at blue, he's already getting trait advantage, he doesn't really need it. Attack down resist, that can be replaced with anything really. If you want main resist, if you want stun resist, confuse, whatever you might be, you can put whatever you want down there. But I put attack down resist. On the pure basis, if Marge goes turn 1 and gives 3 people minus 75% attack, I'm screwed. And then attack up when taunted, fairly simple. Andrea can give focus, easy peasy, lemon squeezy, right? And then yeah, you've seen that, but so there's 2 weapons you can put on Magna. It's completely up to you. You can either put TP or you can put Rampage. I tried for Rampage like 10 times, and then I was like, I'm not wasting any more attempts on it. I'll go to team player. It took me loads of times to get Rampage on a normal weapon. I'm not gonna chance it. But yeah, it did come out perfectly, which is very fucking rare. Now, the mods on her are very important. Attack versus blue. I mean, you can put whatever you want, but she normally will kill a red instantly, so you don't really need attack versus red. So attack versus blue is purely for like, frosts, and anything else. So yes, whatever. But yellow is very important. Attack versus yellow is very important. So bodyguards like Carl, Lee, Tanya, Mr. Lou, all of them, it's very important to get rid of them. So that is very important to build the team. Exhaust resist, fairly simple. She gives herself 100% exhaust resist turn 1. Very important that you have that on there. And then crit damage, she hits twice. So crit damage does help. So if you want video examples of how I use these teams, go on the live stream. Plenty of examples on there. So yeah. Next team, it's the auto team. A lot of people see it on stream because I knew I'd get to a point in the live stream where I'll be like, I just don't want to attack normally. So I built an auto team. The auto team works very well. So main reason for having a Wangfa lead is once they die, they stay down. Fairly simple. Also, the benefit of having him on the team is he has hemorrhage on his rush, which is a nice little bonus. But mainly he has heal reduction, which is very, very nice. Obviously, the 2 Mr. Lou's, you can have 1 Mr. Lou, but it's just not enough bleed. I find like 3,000 bleed is very nice to use. So yeah, I find that's a very nice number to use. Also, with 2 Mr. Lou's on the team, you get 20% healing if you have fast heal on the weapon, which I do. And yeah, both of them get 3,000 bleed turn 1. It's a nice little combo. Mateo, obviously for the infection, his rush is alright, but it is very important that he has the trauma axe. I'll explain that in a second. And then Jesus, fairly simple, impair and trauma. Like I said, I'll get into that in a second. So, mods, it does not matter. Mods do not matter on this team. It's purely keep them alive and throw on whatever you really want. So yeah, that's why I want that. It doesn't really matter. The weapon, I do recommend this weapon. I put defense on the second slot just so he stays alive a little bit longer. He does heal on his weapons, that's very nice, and then he does have a chance to cause infection, which infection is pretty nice. And then Mr. Lou, you can put whatever mod you want on him. I use him on defense, so that's my mods. It doesn't really matter, but it is very important that you have fast healing. Fast healing is important as shit, because without it, they're going to slowly bleed out. They might get infected, so whatever, it's important to keep them alive. And then onto Mateo, yet again, mods don't really matter. I do recommend having a crit mod though, just so in case anything does go bad, you can confuse him with his confounding. This is a nice little thing to have. So yeah. Also, his weapon, like I said, I'll get onto it. Trauma. By using Jesus turn 1, you're already getting 2,000 trauma. Hit someone, hit it onto Marge, that's 5,000 trauma. When she recovers from the infection or bleed, she's just going to wipe herself out, and because of the leader skill, she's going to stay down. It's fairly simple. These are mods I use on Jesus. It's not the greatest. Obviously, I would like some trauma resist, maybe you know, some daze resist as well. But yeah, not ideal, but it gets the job done. The reason I have this weapon instead of the absolute defense weapon is if they do hit them, they might get stunned. I don't mind if they get stunned. And additionally, he may gain some AP so he can rush. And his rush is very nice. So, fairly simple. And that Mr. Lu should have a healing weapon as well, but I don't have it on there at the moment. So, yeah, it doesn't really matter how you mod that. I did see a lot of people running this team in war. Because obviously, what you can just see in the faction log how many people were using this team or a variation of this team. It's actually mental. So some people were using, instead of Michonne, a Nor. Some people were using an Ivanova instead of Clementine. Some people were using double Ricks. So there was loads of this team going around, but personally, I don't like using this team because I don't think it's got much survivability. And with these sort of teams right now, it's a slow meta. You need your team to either finish it fast, which it can do, but in the worst case scenario, it needs to be able to survive. So the reason it's called Green Power is very simple. Strong attack, 10% additional attack per green person on the team, and that's 50% right there, and that is permanent. You're getting that the full duration of the battle. Obviously, it's best if you have on Rick, because Rick doesn't do anything. Also, it's been on the Discord a lot. The weapons that Alpha and Clementine or Ivanova would use is that bonus attack plus 45% attack when attacking enemies with more than 50% of their HP. So it's very nice to make sure it makes them hit like a truck. I will go over the benefits of using Ivanova, benefits of using Clementine as leader. So Clementine as leader, they get 25% attack, greens and yellow, and the opposition get minus 25% defense for 4 turns. So that's a very nice thing, especially when you're hitting hard. Also, Clementine can get rid of camo, but she's got to be able to rush. So yeah. Benefits of having Ivanova, she gives 40% attack, so you get 15% additional attack, and she gives focus. So if you want to go for attack up when taunted, she's a better option. Also, she does give additional trauma on her rush, and she can hit a line. So there's benefits to each of them. It just depends on what you really want. Personally, I think Clementine's a bit better, but I can definitely see if you want to do the attack up when taunted. Ivanova is definitely the way to go. So it depends on what situation you're going for. None of them is really like special, so you know, it is what it is. Mods, you know, attack versus yellow and green. I don't use it. I don't even use this team, but if I was, I would just use it against Marge, since this team does not rely on AP, and that's probably what I'd recommend other people do. So mod against Marge, that's yellow and greens. Crit damage, just so you get additional damage out there. Impair resistance, because Jesus, why not? Same sort of weapon on Alpha. Sometimes she didn't crit for me, and I really needed her to crit, so I was like, fuck it. She's getting me the crit damage mod. No, the crit mod. Attack versus yellow and green, like I said, I would only use it against Marge. And then crit damage, it's a given, just so you get more damage output. And then stun resist, why not? You can throw really whatever you want on there in the last slot. So yeah, onto Michonne. Like I said, Michonne can be swapped out for Nor. You know, I've seen people use 2 Ricks. I've seen people use even a Jesus in replacement. There's loads of options you can put in this place. Michonne is sort of an iffy one. She does give Guardian 2, so that is very nice. She also does give Confuse Resist, so I don't know if you're running into too many problems with that, but yeah. It's a good Jackie counter, so maybe you can use this as a Jackie counter. Like I said, I would only use it against Marge and Jackie. No, yeah, Marge and Jackie teams, but obviously I have a Magna, so yeah, sort of doesn't matter for me. And then Brutus 1535, keep the weapon the same, it doesn't matter. Impair resist because of Jesus. And yeah, normally if this team can't get the job done, Brutus will almost definitely get it done, because once they're down below like 25% health, he can get that kill no problem. And then the weapon on Rick is a strong attack one. Fairly simple. I had huge AP on it because why not? And yeah, here's some mods if you want to see it. Doesn't need confused resist in my opinion, but yeah, mods don't really matter on this command. So onto the defense teams. You're gonna forgive me because I think I fucked around with the teams a bit, but it was either a Mr. Lu or a Tanya. Either way, Tanya's there for heals, recovering penalties and whatnot. It's fairly nice. Mr. Lu's there for bleed and passive damage. So yeah. I've already shown you my mods on Jesus, but he does have an absolute defense weapon just to keep him alive a bit longer. And just so Magna, if she was to double hit, he could potentially double absolute defense it, which is yeah, fairly nice. Then I have a margin there just for the recover infection and bleed, although that does make her a target for trauma. So if you want to mod against trauma, that's definitely not a bad idea. Additionally, yeah, the Guardian Shield, it just saves my asshole, so it's very nice. The weapon I have on her is that. You know, I don't know if I want Stonewall. I don't know if I want that. I'm probably just gonna keep that for a while, and then if I want to swap it to Stonewall, I might do that at a later date. Frost is there just to slow them down. Because obviously with Jesus as leader, you know, you can only target one person, and if you're only targeting the, and you're forced to target Frost, that means you're only doing damage to Frost. So yeah, uh, my trader, that's the weapon. He's just there to chill, infect, survive a decent bit. He's resilient to a lot of things, so he's a good option. That's what I got on him. Obviously I would want trauma resist, but I don't have any. That's the mods on my Frost. It's just surviving long enough, and that's the weapon. So yeah, it's just a stall team. It's not really meant to defend, it's just meant to slow them down. This team I used primarily in war. You already see my Marge and whatnot. I didn't show the mods, but that's the mods. Taunt and Daze Resist. Just to keep her alive long enough, and yeah. So Tanya's there for the heal, recover the penalties, be a pain in the ass if you don't normalize her. Mr. Lou's there for passive damage. Obviously, Jesus is there for the impair and trauma. And then Rick is just there. If someone dies, he might be able to command active skill and bring them back. Or additionally, if someone's close to pop in, he can help them get there. So yeah, here's some mods in Tanya. You know, it's not great, but that's him. And then fast heal. It is not that. It's actually an absolute defense with stone wall on it. Just because they're not going to pop very fast, and I would like it if Rick would survive long enough to maybe do something. Then we got Jesus, absolute defense weapon again, and then Mr. Lou has an fast healing weapon. So yeah, that's that team. And then my final team, I used some more champions, which I did swap to a bit more consistently at the end. This is a turn 1 team. Now you're probably thinking, how can I get this turn 1? It's fairly simple. Literally everything on this team has an 8% weapon. Everything's got an 8% minus March. So with that being said, you get the Guardian Shield, you get the exhaust going. So you get the protection for the bubbles, the Guardian Shields at the start of the turn, and then if you can't kill someone, then 2 people will go off. More than likely it'll be Marge and Arab, the way I've got it going, because there isn't any AP on the weapon on Tanya. So what will happen normally is Tanya will just be there, but Marge will go turn 1, giving camo, heals, and attack down, which is very nice. Arav, because he's got this weapon, 8% Barker's weapon, yeah, he will go turn 1 as well as Marge. So you're getting damage and a bit of heals and a debuff, which is very nice. And 2 Ricks, because if you get rid of one, the other one will definitely do something on that turn. And you can't really stop both Ricks turn 1, so yeah, it's a very nice little combo there. If you bring like an Impair weapon, an Impairer, so like Jesus, you know, that does fix the problem because you can impair them, and if they don't got impair resist, then you're fucked. So yeah, many different ways you can mod against this. I've shown you all the mods before, but yeah, this is just to stop people from autoing your team pretty much, because Arab can recover bleed, burn, and whatnot, and he can do damage, while Marge can heal, camo, get rid of bleed and infection. So yeah, that's the reason for that team. Discord server is in the link in the description. Leave any video ideas you got. Yeah, these are literally all my attack teams, all my defense teams. Primarily I did use my Magna team and my auto team for attack, and then for defense I didn't use Jesus as much. It was majority my fast Marge and my stall Marge. So yeah, any questions, leave in the comments, and yeah, peace out, boys. Hope you have a good day, evening, whatever it may be. I'll have another video out sometime this week. It might be a tier list, it might be another video, but yeah, definitely we'll try and get another video out this week. Appreciate all the support as of recent. We gained lots of subscribers. The 2 live streams have got insane amount of likes and support, so I do appreciate all of that. And